My name is Vanessa. I go by Vlush Dollhaus on the internet. And the type of content I make is kind of multifaceted. I make one stream that is like very much so about makeup and beauty and being creative and like expressing myself through just like makeup. Like I was the girl that did makeup every day at high school in high school. So for me, doing makeup is so natural. So there's a part of my content that focuses on beauty. And then there's another part of my content that focuses on trying to help people realize some of the things that I may be realizing about personal growth and development. So there's like an inspirational piece to it as well. So it's a mix of beauty and like personal development focus, but also ultimately I feel like it's about transformation, like physical transformation of how you look, and then also internal transformation about how you feel and like how you can move through life.
And what are some challenges that you had to face, becoming a creator?
I think for me, some of the challenges I had to face was one, like I was just saying this to a friend that creating content kind of feels like a bit of a humiliation ritual in the sense that like you're putting yourself out there to be talked about and for people to engage in, and it's like very much so like something that you have to continuously do in order to be successful in creating content. So that always feels super challenging to like take something that's really intimate and personal to me, which could be like how I look in a day, what I'm feeling, what I'm doing, and then sharing it for whoever to engage with. And not everyone has like positive intentions or like is going to engage with your content in a way that makes you feel good. So it is always like a risk when you're creating content and putting yourself out there. That's definitely a challenge. Another challenge is just like the time that you can dedicate to it. Like I have a full-time job and career because, we have to make money in this world. A girl has to buy nice things. So until the content is paying the bills, I have to work and I have to find the time to balance between like posting content and working to support myself, but also knowing that the more that I post, the more that I support myself and like believe in my dream, like the more that that becomes my reality. So it's like finding that balance between the two.
And name a post of yours that went viral, and how did you feel about it?
Yeah, so there's a post of mine right now that's going viral. We're thankful for the people that continuously engage with my content. One of my posts is going viral, and it's a very short post, honestly. All I say in the post is that if women were in charge, none of this will be happening. I didn't define what this was or what none of it was. And it really to me was just like a thought that I had in conversation with people in my life. Like, I think women are really like this being Women Empowerment Month. I feel like women, we have like whether it's the way that my mic fell, whether it's the way that we've been nurtured or whether it's the way that we naturally are, like we are like just more compassionate. And I feel the world right now needs a lot of compassion. And like, I just think that there would be less disruption if we had more women in positions of power. And like, that was meant to fully be a moment to empower women and also just something that I don't know, I just believe that to be true. Whether or not it's true, it's what I believe. At that moment that I took to empower women, there was a slew of men who used that moment to spew their hate towards women. And I feel like there are people out there who are like actively waiting for like a piece, a movement where women start to feel good about themselves, where there is like a general consensus in our power and our autonomy and our agency. And then there's people who are actively coming to throw, stones or whatever they're trying to do in that gathering that is meant to be like a celebration of women and like talking about what we can contribute to overall peace in the world versus people coming to say actually women are not smart or the country would fall apart, like all the comments that I immediately block. I'm very much on my Jackie Anna, like if if I see something I don't like, you are getting blocked. Like it's very strict around here. So just trying to keep those people out of the conversations is like, I try to keep a safe space for all the people in the dollhouse. Like this is a space for us to come together, to look
Yeah,
cute, to talk about things that matter. Like, it's not for you. It's not your space.
exactly. And Once you started getting attention, did certain things, change in your life? Like other, like you said, how you, of course, described before, like you're still working full-time job while, balancing content creation. But is there like anything else that kind of changed for you?
What to think. What changed? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. What changed for me? I think for me, it became so much more fun. Like once I started to post consistently, it really showed me like what I could do with my skill set, like within makeup and with also like it also was a really good case study of like, oh wow, people actually like agree with some of my crazy thoughts. I'd be thinking I'm crazy. Like sometimes I say things that I feel like not everyone relates to. So to find so many people that actually do relate, it's so like validating in a way that is like it just feels so much like if my content feels like I'm very protective of like the content I make and because I'm very like I want it to just be really authentic and I want it to be helpful, whether it's like I'm helping people transform with makeup or if I'm helping them transform internally. So once I started to do that consistently, it like reinforced the skill set I didn't know that I could maybe explore a bit further. Like I've always just been a corporate baddie. Like, my parents told me right away, like there's no arts in this house. Like this so to be able to like through content like have fun and like connect with other people that like the same stuff that I like and like to maybe make a career out of it. It's just been so like really energizing. And it's still scary because I'm always scared. I don't know. I have issues. So I'm always scared about the direction that things are going. But I'm just like so happy that I've been able to build this space like for myself and others to like be seen, be validated, like what they see, just have a good girl time.
And what do you enjoy the most about being a content creator, and what do you not enjoy the most about being a content creator?
Okay, yeah, because there's some stuff. I would say, okay, what do I enjoy the most? Obviously, for me, creating content is so fun. Like actually creating the content, like sitting down, thinking of a makeup look, filming, taking the videos, thinking of ideas. That stuff is so fun. Like the way that my schedule works is I shoot content on Saturdays and like usually I'll be shooting content for like 17 hours like straight. And I really do not mind. Like I'm even upset at myself for being tired and not being able to continue to shoot because I just like enjoy it so much and it just feels like so much fun. Like I always say like I wish I could do this every day. Like I wish that which I try to do as much as I can, but it's just like that is the best part is actually creating the content. And then also another really great thing is all the people that actually like the content. Like I get so excited to post a look and I'm always like, oh gosh, I hope people like it. And then when people do like it or if there's like a really big reaction, like I just get so excited to like now I get to talk to all these people about my art. Like that's like so fun for me. So that's what I really love. Things I don't like, I really hate editing. I think I have like issues finishing tasks in general. Like this might be an attention span thing. So like editing takes up so much of my time and I think it's something I might start to outsource, but I'm just like so protective of my content. But it might be something I start um to outsource. But yeah, so editing is definitely something I don't like. Dealing with trolls is something I don't like either, but we don't give them too much attention. And then what else don't I like? I think it's like a pretty good job. Like it's a place where I can share makeup and we can just ch chat about, being women and we can just talk about life and being the eldest daughter and like all the trauma that we have. Like we can connect over these things and hopefully like feel a bit better about ourselves.
And of course, now going forward to the questions about Women's History Month,
Yeah.
um, how do you encourage? I think you explained this a little bit before, but how do you encourage, I guess, women empowerment in your content?
For me, women empowerment is something that like I try to approach things always through an academic lens. Like I always try to like understand like what are the ways that we are being oppressed, like whether it's systemically from a healthcare perspective. Like I've done research on like all the ways that there is disenfranchisement for women just within my career. So now that I have this understanding, I feel like I try to translate that into insights that can be helpful to women. So like noticing things, whether it's like noticing the way that the media has like negative impacts on our health and like trying to break that down in ways that really connects with people. Like for example, I made a post about what I guess is deemed as body neutrality, where you don't look at your body as something like the size of your body, at least, as something that is like reassuring you or validating you as being like, a person that is attractive or a person that belongs in society. Like for me, that was like, I can't look at my body as being too big to be valid, right? Like I have to just look at my body very neutrally and see like how is my body supporting me in other ways? Like how can I be healthy? How can I make sure that I'm eating accordingly? And how can I try to de-entangle, how can I try to unlearn all the things that I know the media was pushing to me because I've done research in these fields and like know that there's evidence that this is like the way that you feel about yourself is closely linked to how society taught you to think. So I'm always trying to think about what are those unlocks that I can start to rewire the way that I'm thinking that will make me feel more happy to be alive, honestly, like to more less worried about the way that I look and more in search of the things that give me joy. And I feel like a lot of the things that women go through is like the ways that they're trying to mold themselves into a version of themselves that they think that they should be because of the way that our systems are set up, right? Like, so I'm always trying to think about what are those unlocks that can get me to wake up and be like, okay, this is not me, this is not true. What can I do to feel good and continue to live a good life? And then sharing that with others so they have similar unlocks.
And this might sound off topic, sorry, but I never heard of I don't know, maybe I'm not aligned too much, but like body neutrality, I think that's what you were talking about. Like that I never heard of, but like I know there's been talks online of course about body standards and stuff like that. So what you said was very informative that yeah.
Yeah, and I've never heard of it either. I think people think of body positivity, but body neutrality is even like even further removed, where it's like it's not good or bad, it's just health, right? Like it's just the form that I'm in, and we move from there, right?
And of course our next question.
Hmm.
Um hmm. What is sorry. What's a woman figure that you're inspired by? This could be somebody, personal in your life or maybe somebody that you learned in class.
Yeah, I feel there's so many women that I've been inspired by, like writers. Toni Morrison has been someone that also, like, I think she also looked at society very critically and tried to connect it back to your sense of self and how you feel about yourself, like trying to untangle yourself from how society views you, especially as a Black woman, where society views you very negatively, like being very conscious about untangling that conditioning. I think that she's someone I've learned from there. But ultimately, I was gonna say I have to say my mother, to be honest. And it's not just because we look alike, and that's my twin. I think it's because she's taught me how to like have such a joy and love for life and really be present in every situation, be present and be thankful for the ways that you can experience joys in those moments. Like there are many moments in my life where we are in situations which should not have been joyful, but because of my mother, those situations were joyful. They were warm, like they were filled with love. And I feel like she always reminds me that you have a choice in like your suffering in a sense because you can choose to, and she's a very active, like she's up early, she's ready to go. Like you can choose to move towards creating one, a better reality for yourself in the long term through your hard work, but then also two, by being really present, kind, and loving with people, creating a better present moment as well, no matter what the surroundings are. So I have to say, definitely, it's like Toni Morrison and then my mom. Like those are the two women who have inspired me the most in my life.
And how does, sorry, what does woman empowerment mean to you?
think women empowerment to me means that the part of myself that I deem to be valid, like that, the parts of me that reassure myself and my validity, they lie within me. Like my power lies within me. It doesn't lie within an external factor. I think we can be often told like your power, validity, your sense of self lies in your roles in community, whether you're a mother, whether you're a wife, like it lies within whether they deem you to be attractive, whether they deem you to be smart, like all these external things that I think women have really been pressured into wanting to obtain. I like reject those things and know that the only form of empowerment can come from within me, regardless of whether or not I'm conforming to what is said. The way that I am is powerful. So like that sort of like rebalancing of what I deem as important and where I place my focus on when it comes to understanding myself is just more so internal. So I think women's empowerment is like we have all the power. We have it inside of us. Like we just have to like allow ourselves to express that, allow ourselves to move beyond because especially and I think they fear women empowerment a bit. Like that's why there's so much restriction on women because they fear like, they might fear what would happen if women were really powerful, but I think we have to push past that because right now we need as many powerful people as we can to build community. And I feel like women empowerment is a very important part of us trying to rebuild community. Yeah.
And does that kind of go, of course, like on the impact you want to leave, on your female audience?
Yeah, I just hope the girls feel like baddies. No, like, I hope that everyone who comes to my page is like they leave like feeling inspired. They leave feeling like a deep sense of self and like feeling just like that girl, like for lack of a better term, like just feeling like really good. I just want them to feel good. And it's funny because I found out that someone actually broke up with their not my words, loser boyfriend. Again, not my words, don't know the guy. Loser boyfriend, because they watched one of my videos that talked about, sometimes the things that aren't for you are the things that disappoint you 1,000 times. And I'm like, yes, okay, not that I'm like pro breakup or anything. Like, I love love, but like, if you can watch something that and you could hear a thought that I had that like was an unlock for me, and then it's an unlock for you, and you actually go ahead and your life becomes better, and like you just become more and more of a baddie. Like, I love that. And I would want that to be the legacy that I leave. Like, I would hope that I could actually move people to action in a way that's like for their betterment. I hope so. If not, I could teach you a good couple lip combos. That's even good enough.
I will say I've seen your content before, so all your makeup looks are great. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
And what are some things I guess people should be educated about, other than, well, maybe other than Women's History Month, I guess should be educated about like women in general.
It's a good question. So things that they should just be like, what are they to know about women, right? I think I think we all need to do a better job of like understanding women at so many levels. Like at like a research institutional level, there's still a disproportionate amount of testing done on men versus women. So like the things that we consume aren't predominantly built for us. Like that's like one piece. And like even like my Google Home like is so annoying. If you speak to it, that you can run this experiment and let me know if it's just me. But if you speak to it in a male tone, you have a higher chance of it recognizing your voice. Like sometimes I'll be saying like, okay, Google, I'm sorry if I just triggered your Google, I'm sorry. But it's saying, okay, Google, do this. And she won't understand me. But if I now lower my octave a little bit, same volume, okay, Google, it will respond faster. And the only thing I can think is the people who were coding it were a bunch of men who were saying okay Google over and over and over again and that becomes the algorithm, right? So like we can't exclude women from the research that we do. We can't exclude them from the products that we develop. Like we all need to really understand women more, like if we want to help tip the scales of the world, which I think, things are in disarray, as we all know. Things are a bit chaotic. I think that's one sense. And then like more personally, I think women are very complex beings. I think we differ so much depending on the day, the time. Like there's so many things that really affect us, and I think we also are often like matriarchs in our families. We often carry so much burden, and we do it out of love for the most part. Like all the women that I know that carry burden for anything is because they're doing it out of love. So like if you understand women more, if you actually take the time to really connect with the women in your life, you can find ways that you can really support them. Like in small moments, in big ways, in small ways, like really just understanding women. If we just built us in more to the conversation, if we had more of a seat at the table, if we really had parity, equity, balance, I think the world would feel more balanced.
I completely agree. And like, I kept thinking about this conversation I saw actually on TikTok where people were saying how come, when it comes to single moms that they're bashed more than single dads, how they become more
Mhm.
praised. And also I remember seeing how I think somebody said like the default parent is the mom, so like everything goes to the mom. So yeah, it's like why is it us that, I don't know if this sounds bad or anything, but it's like how come we're always the default parent, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
I wonder, I think some of it is like I said about love, like as a mo I don't I think for mothers it's unimaginable to not be a parent, right? Like for some of them, they just can't like this is their child. They it's not an option. And clearly, I mean, clearly statistically it seems optional for men, right? Like and I think that is like again, this is how whether it's how women are built or if it's society, whatever it is, there is a tendency for women to just love and to sacrifice for love. And I think that's why we see more single mothers. Like it's just because it wasn't an option for them to leave their child in any other state but within their care. And I think, yeah, that is true that there is this conversation that like single fathers get praised. It's like looked at as a badge of endearment, like, oh my gosh, like look at the sacrifice you're making. Whereas single mothers, it's like there can be a connotation around it, especially because, people misogyny, like people generally they don't like women. So anything that we do, there's always going to be a negative connotation. But I feel like there's so many mothers who've given their children like enough love for 10 people. And that's like, again, this is how powerful we are. Like, we can give enough love for more than one person, right? And we can take that on. And it is a sacrifice, though. And it shouldn't be like, oh, we're just so strong. It's like strength comes with, being broken and weakness and rebuilding. So, like, that's the only place that strength comes from. So, so yes, we're strong, but it's because of what we've went through. And like, I just feel like we need more recognition, more love, more praise. We need to switch. We need to have more conversations like this so that people can see the ways that they're negatively contributing, even by just praising single fathers, like you're negatively contributing to the stereotype about women as well. Like, yeah, it's interesting. I've seen that conversation as well.
And is there some things people should know about you?
Oh my gosh, there's so much. No. Is there? Okay, what is it? What is there to know about me? Okay, I can give you like quick facts. I grew up thinking I was going to be a doctor. This is typical Nigerian girl dreams. Then I went to business school, became a consultant, hotshot consultant, was doing really great work in like economic mobility. Was basically like an economics researcher, which is like I think this is the immigrant child's dream. And now I just want to flip my life around and just do makeup for a living. And I feel like my storyline is like one where people might connect to because you've just been taught that there's only like one way to be successful. And sometimes you really just have to take a risk and see if like that narrative isn't true. And if there is something else that you could do that might fill you up more. Like as much as I loved the stability that having like working consistently in corporate, what that does, I just love makeup. Like honestly, like, whenever people are like, "Oh my gosh, I love your makeup," I'm like, "I love it too," because I just love makeup. Like makeup is just so fun for me. It feels so energizing. Like I just love doing it. I love learning about it. I love creating content around it. Like, and I just wanted to see how my life would be if I just pursued that dream a bit more than the straight and narrow path that I think my parents really wanted for me. So if you're out there and you're trying to think like, should I go down the path that feels safe or should I go down the path that feels most like home? Like try to do the things that feel like home to you. But obviously you got to get a bag because I get it. It's a tough world. I get it.
And of course, for like our last question, mm, let's see, how do you, I guess, want to? I think you kind of answered this a little bit before, but I guess support your female viewers.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely want to support them. Think I said I'm trying to see. I don't want to repeat myself. Typical consulting training is like, don't ever repeat. Keep everything exhaustive. I think just again, I just want to support them, especially because I feel like a lot of women who watch my content, according to the analytics, according to the analytics, are like, 18 to like 35. And I feel like honestly, that's like peak girlhood years. Like this is where you're like trying to get your life together, building your own sense of self, like you're becoming an adult, like you're trying to be a different person actively because maybe the way that you have been hasn't given you the life that you wanted or the relationships that you wanted. Like I feel like I through that period where most of the people who watch my content are in, I went through like so many periods of like transformation, like losing relationships, gaining new relationships, like moving countries, like just being like living so many different versions of myself that I learned so much about myself and I'm so much more calm being 31 than I was being 18. So if I can impart wisdom to any of the people who are watching me to like help them get more of sense of calm and sense of like whimsy through makeup, then that's enough. I've done my job. Like, and honestly, I don't even focus a lot of my content on like brand partnerships and like selling products because that's like not what I want the conversation to really be about. Like, I do want to recommend things that people can use and it's stuff that I generally like, but most of what I want you to walk away with is like empowerment, like feeling good, feeling excited.
And I guess, is there anything else you'd like to add for the interview, or like maybe some advice for, I guess, any young girls who want to become content creators, or women who, of course, who are going through a lot of stuff during this time?
Yeah, okay. If you're trying to become a content creator, because feel like a lot of us are. I mean, it's a good career path. It seems like the most reasonable workplace these days. If you're trying to become a content creator, I would say what you need to do is realize that like the first day that you start posting is like day one of a 10-year time. Like wherever you think you're going to be, like wherever you want to be, it's likely going to take you 10 times longer to get there. But that should be empowering because you have now the time to build up slowly all the skills to allow them to compound over time, to lay a bunch of seeds and build a foundation to do the slow part of gardening, like really work through the soil, plant things, learn things, try things, experiment. And that like year one to year five, like that should be the time where you're just like really building slowly. And I like not, and of course you can blow up in that time, but if you really want this to be something that is like worthwhile, that is like something you can be really proud of, just slow down the time frame that you're thinking that you're going to get to whatever the end state goal is. And then also start to look at every post everything that you do as like the best, smallest win ever. Like you posting a video that gets 200 views, like that's 200 views on the road to 200 million views. Like you need 200 to get to 200 million, so you just have to keep going. Like you should be proud of the fact that you contributed something to the soil because you know that that eventually because just by nature blooms into something else. So like don't be discouraged by small results, like when you are a small seed. Like that is something that will blossom in the future. And that's something that I wish I could tell myself in year one of me making content. Because I was always like, oh, nobody likes my stuff. Like nobody, it's I'm in 200 views yet. Like, all that stuff that was super encouraging. And then I'd be super inconsistent with posting. I just wasted time where I could have been just dropping more videos, planting more seeds. Like, just don't let that doubt stop you from actually like having something to harvest when the time comes, because the time is going to come. You're going to move through the time. That's going to happen. But just make sure that you're using this time effectively and not being caught up in self-doubt, because that it doesn't help anyone.
Exactly. Yeah. And thank you again for joining me on this conversation. All your
Thank
answers were
you.
just very thoughtful and yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. This is my first interview, really, so I was kind of nervous.
No,
I don't know.
you did good. You
Thank
did great. Yeah. Well, it was good talking to you. Thank you.
Lovely talking to you. Take care. Thank you so much. Honestly, thank you for choosing me for this. I really feel honored. I really
Of
appreciate
course.
it.
Oh, you have a good day.
You too. Take care.